Auckland Zoo is home to more than 1,400 animals, with over 135 different species. We follow a dedicated team inside the zoo and out into the wilds of New Zealand. This time on Wild Heroes. Will Snapper be accepted back into the colony?
Sometimes when you've had an animal come back to their group, there can be a little bit of aggression.
The vet team prepare to treat Sumatran tiger Sali.
They can go from looking like they're fast asleep to being on all 4 feet and ready to go like that.
And the zoo helps save an endangered species at risk.
We had to rescue this skink from almost certain doom.
Preparation for the opening of the zoo's new state-of-the-art Southeast Asia jungle track is gathering momentum. The siamang and orangutan were the first to move in.
We have put so much energy into designing and building this incredible new habitat for them. They're doing what they are made to do. They're moving above the ground, and it's just so incredibly rewarding for them, but also for us as well.
The swamp forest habitat in the new tropical dome is taking shape.
It's still a construction zone, there's still a lot to do. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands more plants to go in. And then, of course, we've got to stock it with animals. We'll be bringing in our Tomistoma crocodiles. The idea is busy fish, biodiversity, jungle environment. There'll be lots of little surprise and delight elements as well.
New to Auckland Zoo is 14-year-old Sumatran tiger Sali.
To finally have a tiger in this incredible environment that we've built. It's just phenomenal, it's exciting for our guests to come and connect, to be able to showcase such a beautiful endangered species. So part of Sali's wraparound care plan is that we do daily training sessions with her. What we'll try and do is some paw presents. It's a good way for us to be able to have a good look at their pads of their paws, to check that they're all in good health, good nick. Okay, let's try it up. Sally, up. There we are. Good girl. So it's just a good way of looking at her paws, checking her teeth, checking her underbelly. Sally. Let's try again. Sally, up. Good girl. Good girl. We get her to do lie downs in the chute.
Sally, you want to go down? Come on, let's go.
Good. There you go.
It enables us to get a bit closer to her rear end. So we start off just by prodding in the thigh muscle, building that desensitization. That's normally where we would give medications, vaccinations, or sedations if she needs some medical intervention. But it's completely voluntary, so she always has option to leave, to go out one way or another. So what we'll do now is we'll go and give her the rest of her breakfast outside. Yeah, just for doing a good job for training. It's kind of a nice reward at the end of it, just to get a big treat. So today, Sally's got a nice piece of beef. The hide and stuff's really good roughage for their digestive system, so it helps sort of bind things together and clear them out. And then the bones are really good for their teeth and dentition, so it gets them crunching, gets them hardening, so sort of keeps them nice and clean, really. So yeah, she's got a big piece of beef, and then what I'll do is I'll probably just supplement that with a little bit of chicken to make sure that she gets her diet amount. So at the moment, we're kind of putting in quite obvious spaces, and that's just to get her more comfortable with being outside, to let her know that outside is a good space, she can happily eat her food. Tigers have that phenomenal sense of smell, so she goes out there, she's like, it's somewhere.
Sally's an older cat, and the keepers have noticed that she is a bit stiff in the mornings. We've also noticed that she is moving around her habitat quite a bit, and often that's a sign that something's not quite right.
It's been some time since Sali's last health check. The keepers and vets decide to give her a general anaesthetic to find out if there are any underlying health issues they need to treat. Little penguin Snapper has been in the vet hospital for the past 10 days with a throat infection. Now recovered, it's time for him to be reunited with the rest of the colony.
Sometimes when you've had an animal at the vets and they come back to their group, There can be a little bit of aggression or little skirmishes. You back home. Off you go then. Off you go, Snap. You want to go back in? Go see your friends.
Snapper is also reunited with his mate, Roimata.
Hopefully with his meds everything goes well and he makes a full recovery. Yeah, it's really nice to see them all back together again.
This morning, Sumatran tiger Sali has just been sedated for a thorough health check after the keepers have noticed some concerning behaviour. Vet Stefan prepares the team.
The first priority in any procedure with a dangerous animal is human health and safety. As with all of our dangerous animal procedures, we've got 2 standard calls, an all-out, which is if us as the anaesthesia team think that we just need a minute to get everyone out of the room and we need just a minute to settle our anaesthesia down and make sure everything's completely under control and just make yourself safe outside of the room using that exit door. The second call we have is a code red. That is in case of an emergency. Now we've got multiple steps of contingencies to stop that from happening, but that is if we think we've lost control of the anaesthesia. If they call for everyone to move away, you move away.
What we're doing today is doing an old age check, so checking her liver and kidneys, doing a full physical exam, checking her eyes, her teeth, her blood pressure, everything we do in an older cat.
The keepers did a really, really good job with training because they were able to get all of our anaesthesia drugs into Sally of her own free will, which is much, much nicer for everyone involved, the keepers and the animal. And it means the anaesthetic drugs work better. You keep an eye on her and I'll keep an eye on driving this down. With some of the anaesthetic combinations that we use, there is a risk that if they get enough of a jolt of adrenaline, they can go from looking like they're fast asleep to being on all 4 feet and ready to go like that. So we just want to take things nice and slowly and assess every step of the way.
X-ray.
We're taking really good x-rays of all her joints, and especially in our older animals, because we know that they're prone to problems like arthritis. So we need to get a really good series of x-rays.
That is 40 minutes from injection.
Holy moly, how did it get to be 40 minutes from injection?
As time goes on, the initial anaesthetic drugs that we give her to make her go to sleep, they start to wear off. It's our role to communicate that with the procedure team to say that she's doing really well or things are starting to deteriorate.
Yes. Can I have syringe for bloods, please? Where are the tubes? Blood tubes?
I'm monitoring the anaesthesia partly by looking at Sally, looking for has she got a blink response, is she developing some tension in her jaw, sometimes you'll see little ear twitches. What's that? You need to move ahead. When do you need to move ahead?
Her whole body needs to go that way so we can get the plate under her cuff.
Roger that. So you tell me when you're about to move. You are about to move now?
Ready to move.
So stopping the ventilation, disconnecting her.
Pull so I can pull the plate at the same time. Perfect. A bit more. Yep. Perfect.
We are at 1 hour.
Yep, perfect.
We had predetermined that we were looking at about 2 hours under anaesthesia.
Anything beyond 2 hours, you start to get a bit of higher risk.
Yeah, she's taking these little piddly breaths in between, huh? These little ones. Yeah, she's got some enamel wear there, huh? Yeah. Nothing really to worry about. Oh, that's a weird feeling, sticking your hand in a tiger's mouth.
So about an hour 15 since injection.
I really want to be waking her up in 40 minutes. I want to start moving her back to the back of house dens. How much do you have left to do?
All right, x-ray.
Hey Hannah, her blood pressure has just started to trend down. We're still in a good range, but if it keeps dropping, I might have to call it. So I've just turned her isoflurane up, so we've got 5 minutes before we really should be moving her. Because it's the eye of the tiger.
Oh, Stefan.
I've been waiting 3 years to use that line. So we ready to move? Yep. Perfect.
The procedure today went really well. We were able to get everything done that we wanted. We've had some preliminary results. Those were her blood tests and those are good news, and everything is looking good at the moment. And so we can see straight away if there are any major abnormalities, but it takes us quite a while to have an in-depth look at those x-rays and get a good idea of exactly what's going on.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Not you. Not you.
Why do penguins have one wing?
So they're all rescues. So they've either been in a boating accident where the boat has cut their wing off. So they've come here. So if they're not releasable back into the wild, and we think they'll have a happy life here and they're not in pain, then we'll keep them. So all of the penguins, bar 2, have all got one wing or something wrong with them, a frozen wing or a frozen shoulder. Because of disability makes them a little less fit than other penguins, so they don't swim a lot. So we need to get them fit. We want to get them active and their feathers waterproof and beading. So how do we get them from this emaciated, scruffy penguin that can't swim and is not waterproof to a penguin that is waterproof, swimming and eating? We'll put barriers around and there'll be a couple of keepers. Sounds a bit awful, but we force them to swim. We'll start at like 15 to 20 minutes and we'll build it up to an hour. It's a bit like you going to the gym. I'm just making them go to the gym in the morning. I have to do it, they're doing it. So.
After his recent stint in the vet hospital, the team are keeping a close eye on Snapper.
Hey, Snapper. In you go. In you go, Snaps. Good boys.
While Snapper may be allowed out early, there's no excuse for the others.
Coral, you cheeky.
And there's plenty of resistance.
When we're doing swim school and we are basically making them swim in the water, obviously sometimes they don't want to do that.
As soon as one is out, they all want out.
Off you go.
It's kind of like cruel to be kind. We block bits of the pool off and we kind of gently push them in with brooms, and you can see them trying to scramble out and get on top of the broom, and that's just a protest of I don't want to do this.
No, darling.
It's a bit cold and a bit, oh, you're making me swim round.
Come on, gorgeous ones. Oh, you're quick. Off you go.
They'll find any little ledge to try and get on or out of the way of the broom. We'll find eventually as it goes on and they get more used to it, they'll start to stay in the water much more. Because they're fitter, we want to get to the point where they're going in themselves. So we'll carry on as the way we are now, and we will get there eventually. I just think we need to encourage them a little bit more.
In 2016, a massive cyclone event on the west coast of New Zealand threatened to wipe out an entire population of endangered native cobble skinks.
We had to rescue this skink from almost certain doom. If we hadn't rescued it, they may have been wiped out. The Department of Conservation was very worried about this very small, isolated population of skinks. It was only known just living in the kilometre or so of Cobble Beach. They took the very brave decision to proactively search for and remove all the skinks they could find. And they were all flown up to Auckland Zoo.
If you want to save a species from extinction, you're being told that these are the last in the world. To receive 35 skinks is extremely nerve-wracking.
After a storm threatened to decimate the endangered native cobble skinks in 2016, Auckland Zoo were given 35 of the last known animals in an effort to save the species from extinction.
It would make any population biologist shriek. Every individual mattered. It was imperative that we made sure that they survived. So, we're going to offer some food out. Today it is locusts. This is a great opportunity for them to hunt down prey as they would do in the wild. This last breeding season was our best breeding season yet. 33 skinks were produced, which is phenomenal for us. It takes the pressure off. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? I'm a bit of an ectotherm nerd and love to fly the flag for the underappreciated. When you look at a cobble skink, actually take a moment to look at it, it's a beautiful animal.
Everyone knows New Zealand for its birds, but in fact New Zealand is the land of lizards. We have more terrestrial lizard species in New Zealand than we do terrestrial birds. They're the underdog, they're the unsung heroes of New Zealand. New Zealand environment relies on those lizards. They're pollinators, they're seed dispersers. They would naturally have been prey items for our normal native natural predators. And they're an important, essential part of any ecosystem.
Today, Don and Richard are in the South Island's west coast to see the original home of the cobble skinks and a zoo-supported project that will begin to safely reintroduce the species back to the wild.
To come for the first time to the place where they were lifted is magic for me personally, because it connects the story for me. We received the skinks from this very spot 6 years ago, this winter.
Oh, this is it, Don.
Wow.
Pretty amazing spot, eh?
Beautiful, yeah.
The only known habitat of the cobble skink was this short stretch of pebbled beach between the sea and the dunes at Granity.
Just walking onto the beach, I can see that the famous cyclone did move through here. There's evidence of it. It's a changed beachfront.
So you can see this cobble is starting to build up again. Eventually, potentially, this will grow into a big bank of stable cobbles. At the moment, it's just obviously pebbles at the top of the beach.
Storm damage and continued battering from the sea means the cobble skinks will unlikely be returned to this beach. Instead, the zoo team, working with the Department of Conservation, have created a solution a little further down the coast at Punakaiki.
What we've done is we've built what we call a halfway house. We've built a large outdoor enclosure that allows us to manage those skinks with less intensive care. This is an irrigation system, so we can water it in hot weather.
Yeah.
I guess really what's left to do is the planting with lots of berries for food, stuff that will help attract insects. I mean, we're right by the sea. The climate here is just like Granity, so yeah, I can't see why it shouldn't be a raving success.
Perfect halfway house. I'm really impressed.
Hopefully later this year, we'll be looking at bringing the first skinks home to the West Coast, which will be an amazing feeling. The habitat is a halfway house, it's not an endpoint. Like any conservation breeding program, our ultimate goal is to see those animals back out in the wild and living and breeding naturally under natural conditions.
At the zoo, we've now reached a magic number of 100 cobble skinks, and we're on the right path, so that's hugely satisfying.
A year from today, we'll probably won't have any skinks at all at Auckland Zoo, which will be an awesome result because it will mean that we've played our part, we've done our role, we've safeguarded those skinks, we've learnt things about them that have actually informed our conservation practices here on the ground, and then we put all the animals back where they came from and we can say job well done.
The zoo's rescued little penguins have been attending swim school now for several weeks.
Look at Snapper.
I know, he's going for it, eh? It's great.
Very active.
Look at you go, little fella.
Snapper's doing really well. He's been really great at kind of really back to his old self, but the improvement from what we've seen originally to now is it's like a different bird. We can already see that the swim school is working and getting them waterproof. It's really, really wonderful to see. And I suspect that after another month, we'll just see them swimming themselves because it's what they want to do.
Well done, you lot. Well done.
Because of their disabilities and their injuries, over time their feather condition can get really poor. They have an oil gland by their bum, and they spread the oil over those feathers. It makes them waterproof. So we call it beading. Can you imagine if you throw water onto something that's oily, it will just bead off? That's what we want with the penguins. The hope is that they'll do swim school, make them swim in the water, gets them fitter, and then when they get out of the water, they'll preen all those feathers themselves with their beak, They'll get the oil off their glands and move it around. And eventually, over time, we should see a mass improvement in that feather.
Roy Marta's tail shaking, and she's preened her chest. Nice tail shaking.
Yeah, that was Snapper.
Snapper and Roimata are the only pairing in the colony.
Hopes for Roy Marta and Snapper would be chicks. It would be great for the colony, because when you introduce new penguins all the time, it can disturb the colony. Chicks are different because they're reared within the colony. So yeah, it would be great if they could breed, but we'll see, yeah.
Next time on Wild Heroes, we meet the animals that will outlive us all.
Just crazy to think that this little guy could become this big.
The ungulate team prepare for a giraffe birth.
Just like any pregnancy, anything could go wrong. Everyone's got an eye on her leading up to the birth.
And we get close to one of the largest insects on the planet.
It became highly threatened directly through the actions of humans.